Motorsport 411 presents
all the four- and two-wheeled action.
Motorsport 411 with Sean Cardovillis.
Welcome to Motorsport 411, your home for all your four- and two-wheel action in Africa. Coming up in this episode, we'll have a preview to this weekend's FIM Motocross of Africa Nations event in Uganda. And we'll speak to Kenyan rally driver Raaji Bharij, who's received a huge sponsorship from Minty Motorsport.
All the four- and two-wheeled action. Motorsport 411.
Welcome to the episode. So after last hosting the event in 2012, Uganda prepares to host the FIM Motocross of Africa Nations event. Earlier, I got to speak to ASN steward and team manager for Uganda, Semakula Katende, and I asked him how the preparations are going on for the event that's set to be held between the 19th and the 21st of August.
Thank you so much, you guys, for hosting me. I'm the event manager for Team Uganda. The event will start on the 19th till 21st. And on the 19th, documentation, checking of bikes, everything of that sort will be done on the 19th. And then the next day, 20th, which will be a Saturday, we shall have practice, starts, parade, and then in the afternoon we shall do heat 1. And then Sunday, 21st, we shall do practice and then second heat and third heat. Yes, and then prize giving at the end.
All right. Can you confirm the countries that are coming for the event?
We have South Africa and yes, there's Zimbabwe, but though Zimbabwe is fielding few riders. South Africa has about 17 riders coming to take part. Zambia has 25 riders. They're also coming to compete. We have Botswana, and then there's Kenya, which is coming with 29 riders. We have Tanzania, which has 7 riders, and Morocco, which has 6 riders, 3 in MX2 and 3 in MX1. And yes, and the hosts, of course, Uganda.
That must be a record. I'm seeing so many entries coming. I'm sure it's going to be logistically quite challenging for you.
Yes, it's a big event. Definitely, we have to get challenges, but we're not scared of the challenges. We have to encounter them. As you already see, we're already being challenged, track venues, but we're doing every effort to make sure that the event ends successfully. And yes, also the more the merrier. The more the riders, the more the fun of the event. So we expect it to be fun despite the challenges.
Just tell us about the venue. The
event, at the moment, everything is planned for Victoria Raceway Park, Garuga. The Wakiso, that's Entebbe. And that's it. We've been hosting races there, FIM Africa, the CSE events. And events have been ending successfully. If I talk of Kenyans, it's a favorite venue for them and us Ugandans. And we're hoping that things will go well at the end of the day today. And yes, we shall host the event at Garuga. The chances are that we have 90% according to the inspectors, because they're not, we would be worried if they are telling us that we're coming to inspect and see whether it will be possible. But they're even advising what we should do. Do this right, make sure the fencing is okay. Majorly, they're focusing on 3 things. That's the fencing, to controlling the crowd, putting the fence right with the right measurements, and then irrigation system to make sure we suppress the dust completely. So the irrigation system is being handled well as per regulations, as per directive from the inspectors. And then lastly is medical insurance, which is also being handled, and we are ready. concerning those three major issues that they hinted about. Then these others are minor, which do not need to be done these days. These are things that can be done eve of the event. For instance, mobile toilets. You cannot bring mobile toilets and place them at the venue for inspectors. So I think they have to believe in you that they will be at the venue on the day because they are just hired.
Super. Now, Semakula, can you tell us about the state of motocross in Uganda? We see that probably South Africa would be the biggest challenge at the Motocross of Nations. But motocross, of course, heavily reliant on equipment, a very expensive sport. How is it? We saw, of course, that Uganda beat Kenya earlier this year.
Yes, that's a good question. And now, Uganda beat Kenya the last time you were here in April. Now it's going to be even a more thrashing. Reason being, now we achieved unity with the other breakaway group. Now we became one. Remember, we have riders like Fortune Sentamu, we have the Holland brothers, Gift Sebuguzi, all those guys joined. So we have a strong team as Uganda to take on the rest of Africa. South Africa is the powerhouse, of course we know, but we are ready to challenge. We also have very fast riders in the junior classes, like the Katende brothers, Hubert Mwonge, Jamara Makumbi, Arise Kamwa, Ramadan Mubiru in the junior classes. But we're also aware that Kenya is also another very strong team. We know, we are aware that Kenya is fielding 8 MX65, is the fastest class in Kenya. And yes, we are looking forward to having them here and see how it will transpire. But I know Louis Ogonyi, Keegan Tuma, Mathenge, Kamundia, and then Ogwe Ngonga. Those guys are very, very fast. Thuku Waweru. And then we also know 50cc. You have the fastest riders in Dylan Hatanga and the Sauza Alexander. We are focused, and we know the guys that are going to challenge us, and we're preparing well for them. We are not only looking at South Africa, we're also looking at Kenya because they're fielding a big number, and they brought very fast riders in every category. And yes, Rolf Kihara in MX1 will be handled by Maxime Van P. Alistair Blake from Uganda. The only fortunate thing that we know Kenyan riders. South Africa, we don't know them, so we shall see during practice how we shall handle the South African team. But at least I know the challenge is big, and Kenya is not simple. So most of the countries are looking at South Africa, but to have Kenya, Zambia we can handle. Just that Zambia is too good in ladies class and masters. But those few classes, only 2 classes cannot make you win a country trophy. So we are looking at a general competition, and the countries in contention are South Africa, Kenya, and the hosts Uganda.
Semakula Katende, thank you so much, and the best of luck with the event. Thank you so much for speaking to us on Motorsport 411.
It's been a pleasure hosting me on Motorsport 411. Wishing you a good day to you guys.
That's ASN steward and team manager for Uganda, Semakula Katende. We'll be back.
All the 4 and 2-wheeled action.
Motorsport 411.
Welcome back. Now, rally driver Raaji Bharij is returning to the sport after receiving a huge sponsorship boost from Minty Motorsport. Bharij and his team have acquired a Skoda R5, but unfortunately the car could not arrive before the WRC Safari Rally. I asked him how disappointed he was not to compete in the WRC Safari Rally.
Obviously, it was disappointing. Everybody wants to do the WRC. It's a massive stage and everything. But the key thing is that everybody in the team was trying super, super hard. Everybody tried everything possible. So yeah, in that aspect, I couldn't have asked for more from the team. It was just unfortunate that stuff out of our hands meant that the car didn't get here, and we just had to deal with it and move on. In terms of how disappointed I was, let me put it this way. Of course, I can say I was disappointed, but at the same time, I've got a drive in an R5. If earlier this year I didn't know about that, if in January or November last year somebody told me next year at some point you'll be driving an R5, I would have taken it. I wouldn't have said I have to have it for the WRC. So overall, there's not a lot of disappointment because I'm just super excited to have an R5 to drive.
Just tell us about your relationship with Minty Motorsport and how you came to an agreement to acquire the R5.
I mean, it really is a fantastic opportunity to be part of Minty. I mean, it's something I've been working my entire life for. I've dedicated all of my life really to motorsports, and to finally have a team reach out and offer me a drive and the support to be out there regularly and in a top car is just phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, this is not in terms of what the relationship is. It's just a really cool relationship. Joey and the entire team are very supportive, and we've got a journey ahead of us. And they're being really cool about what the expectations are. It's just this year is about learning, getting back into nationals. As you know, I haven't been doing nationals for 6-7 years now, so there's a lot of stuff to remember. There's a team to build, a lot of work to be done on pace notes and etc. So yeah, it's really easy to work with them, which is really cool.
You could say the relationship really built up during the Classic Safari Rally. You had a very impressive run.
Yeah, for sure. Thank God I did that rally because, Kericho Gold and Safaricom came on board and made that possible. And the East African Safari Rally was also very welcoming and trying to make me a part of that event. So thank God I did that. And regardless of the eventual retirement with the gearbox, as our performance was, maybe I could use the word respectable. So yeah, we had a decent performance, and that was noticed, and that was one of the motivating factors for then us getting the drive. So that was probably the best money I've ever spent in my life doing that rally. Yeah.
Now, You've been very active on social media, telling us the story of how the car came in. There was, and this is not the first time I've heard about it, there was a lot of frustration getting the car cleared through customs.
Yeah. What does one say about that? It's, I think without saying anything, everybody knows all the frustrations, right? I mean, it's just very difficult to get stuff cleared. It would be nice if our systems were a bit easier to work with, but that isn't the case. But at the end of the day, we got it out. It's just a lot of processes. I think one thing that would really help, let me put it this way, I don't want to say that this didn't work and that didn't work. What would be nice is if the governing body can work with the government to make it easier to bring rally cars into the country. There's a process to bring rally cars in at the moment that seems to only make it more difficult to bring rally cars in, which is counterproductive. I don't think anybody's obviously done that on purpose. It's just that currently it doesn't really actually help. And it would be really nice for future cars coming in and to encourage the sport to make it much easier to get a car in. Because yeah, even if our rally car did arrive a week before the Safari, the WRC, we still wouldn't have got it out. So that needs to be addressed, I think.
Now, it is literally a completely different rally car to say an Evo 10. How did it feel? What were your emotions first sitting in the car?
Yeah, I mean, massive excitement. This is the first ever purpose-built rally car. That's the key difference here is, you're sort of going back to the original days of having purpose-built rally cars. The Skoda is a purpose-built rally car. It's not a road car that really has been, like an Evo 10 and Subarus, whilst they're incredible cars, there's a lot of it that's still about comfort and, you've got these big dashboards and lots of space and etc. And the Skoda is just meant for rallying. So just the excitement of being able to get into something that is made for one purpose. It's kind of like getting on a scrambler, a motorbike. A scrambler is not meant for you to go comfortably to the shops with or to go cruising with. It's meant to do motocross jumps. This is kind of what the Skoda is like. It's meant for a purpose, and it's just such a privilege to drive something like that. Anybody that just loves cars, driving something like that just puts a massive smile on your face. So there was some tentativeness, but I got used to it reasonably quickly. But what I am finding is being able to drive it is reasonably simple. You can get in and drive it, but trying to find the potential out of the car and everything it can do, that'll take time. It's definitely going to take me time to find real pace in this car.
Yeah, you're talking about purpose-built. You've, of course, in fact, if I remember right, you've been competing in an Evo 10 in the Safari Rally. How different is the car to an Evo 10?
Massively. I mean, the brakes are on another level completely. On the first test, I think the first day I was out-braking myself by like 100 meters, and sometimes you go for the brakes and the car just stops and you have to start accelerating again. And then the turn in is phenomenal. But I think the biggest difference is the suspension. The R5s can, I mean, until you sit in one, you really actually can't describe how much the suspension on these cars can do. So that's very, very cool.
You've got Tapio Laukkanen, of course, he was competing. For those that know Tapio Laukkanen, they know him for his phenomenal rally skills, but he's also a rally trainer, and he's come on board to help you get used to the car.
Yeah, Minty Motorsport was really cool that they offered to let that happen, because whilst we have the year to get used to the car, we also don't want to take too long doing that. And one of the things that everybody felt was you can spend 3-4 rallies trying to find what the car can do, or you can get someone like Tapio to just tell you what it can do and show you what it can do, and then you have a target. It's the thing with this Skoda as well is you can get into it, and as I found on the first day, you can get into it and drive it quite easily, and you feel like you're going fast, and maybe you're going a little bit fast, but the car can do so much more. So it's quite easy to actually get into a comfort zone with this car thinking you're fast, and then someone like Tapio reminds you that you really are not going quick at all. So it's been a humbling experience, let's put it that way. Yeah.
Just tell us, what's the ultimate goal with Minty Motorsport? Now, you've got the R5 in the country. I understand you are taking part in the Nanyuki Rally. Just tell us, what's the ultimate goal in terms of this car? Are you going to be competing in the Africa Rally Championship, for example?
Yeah, the goal, as Minty has said, is to do the Kenya National Championship and the African Rally Championship, and obviously try and bag both titles. This year is just about learning the car, because there's a lot to do, and as I said, because we haven't actively been doing nationals, it's also about building up a team and getting everybody used to the car, and myself getting back up to that sort of level. So yeah, but the plan is KNRCs and ARCs, and then see where it goes from there. We obviously want to do more and more, but steps at a time.
Now, it's not just about you, of course. There's your navigator, there's your team. Can you tell us about them?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Jasneel and I have known each other for a really long time and rallied with each other. So it's really cool to be in the car with him. This is something that actually I can't say too much about right now, because we're sort of building the team. But what I can say is I'm just really blessed again to have so many people around me that are willing to sacrifice their time and energies and everything, and late nights and early mornings to help me do what I love doing. So yeah, I just in addition to everybody around me, from Jasneel and Lionel and Kevin and Bugua and all the guys that have worked with me for so long, now I'm getting input from professionals that are helping us train our local team on this car, and then I'm getting access to people like Tapio. So from a team perspective, this is one of the coolest times in my life, because even when we went to this test, I'm normally just sort of in charge of everything, and I'm doing the fuel, and I'm doing the tires and the accommodation and everything. And the big change that's happening now is I'm being told, well, Raaji, you can't be involved with any of this. Go away, shut up, and drive the car, which will be cool, but it'll be difficult for me to stop being in charge of everything, because I've done it for so long.
Yeah, in case you're wondering, it's just Neil Gatore who's his navigator. Just looking at the state of the Kenya National Rally Championship right now, it's obviously in transition with Carl Tundo and Baldev Chaga on a break, so to speak, from full-time rallying, where we're seeing Karan Patel dominating the local scene. From your perspective, what do you make of the current state of the Kenya National Rally Championship?
Of course, everybody wants it to have more entries, and that's the goal. I would personally, obviously, it's a bit easier for me to say because now I have this opportunity, but I would really encourage everyone to try and change the narrative, because I think in the last few months the narrative has been very negative, and we can all keep saying this is dead and that is dead and blah blah, or we can change the narrative in terms of, well, what should we be doing to make it better. I think that Karan should be given a lot of respect because he's a phenomenal driver. He's put a lot of effort into everything that he's done. Towards the end of when Flash and Baldy and he were fighting for seconds, literally, at the end of whatever it was, 2021, I guess. It was really phenomenal, the level that all three of them were driving at. And Karan is deservedly doing what he's doing right now. I'm looking forward to competing with him, but I'm under no illusions in terms of arriving at the first rally and having his sort of pace. It takes time to get used to a car like this. So I'm really looking forward to racing with him, but I think it'll take some time. Karan's been driving this car for a long time and he's very quick. In terms of Flash and Baldy, I really hope they come back, actually. I've seen one interview with Baldy and I heard something Flash said, I think, about it won't be long, so it would be really cool to have them back as well. But even though, everybody else that has a car at home, I think if the regulations can be a bit more flexible in terms of allowing people with a safe expired seat to still be part of a rally, I think that should be changed so that we can get a bunch of people back in.
How much of it comes down to the economy and how much of it is down to the regulations with a low number of entries?
The regulations, I think, can be amended it should be able to amend it quite easily, but I don't think it's so much about the regulations, to be honest, at the moment. I think the primary thing is the economy. As you're aware, I haven't been rallying for a long time. I've been doing a classic a year, and that was all down to the economy. And then I'm in tourism, so COVID absolutely decimated our industry. So the only reason I can rally right now is because Minty has taken me on board. So yeah, I think we also need to be a bit kinder to our sport in terms of it's suffering because it's not a cheap sport, and the economy isn't doing well. It's not so much that people don't want to rally; it's the finances are very difficult.
Raaji, you're in the tourism business. Of course, rallying is more or less a part-time job for you, so to speak. How's it been for you in terms of your business and how you're coping?
I mean, this is the most character-building 3 years I've ever had in my life. Anybody that knows me knows I like to be in control of stuff. And the main thing that COVID taught me was I can make all the plans I want to. But if the universe wants to do what it's going to do, I can't change it. So it was very character-building. It taught me a lot of patience, which actually, I think everybody would say that going through COVID, they all learned new lessons. They learned how to adapt in business. But the great news is that our lodge, Lentori, has stayed with the exact same team that we went into COVID with. We haven't lost anybody. The lodge is doing well. We've got happy guests and happy clients and happy travelers. So yeah, we're very blessed that everything has stayed together and we're still going because a lot of people didn't make it through that.
I guess the fact that the elections have been relatively peaceful, we've also seen just very recently Lewis Hamilton in the country. I guess, it's really helped in terms of tourism, sort of continuing as if business is normal.
Yeah, I think the country has handled this really, really well. And the cool thing is that even the world has handled it really well. I think in previous years, the press has not the local press, but the international press hasn't done Kenya any favors. I think there's been some really bad reporting internationally for no reason, taking out stock photos of stuff that happened 20, 25 years ago. And this year that hasn't happened. We've had a really good election. And we haven't had any guest, any tourist ask us about elections. Everybody just wanted to travel and come to our beautiful country.
Fantastic. So just to confirm, you will be taking part with the Skoda in Nanyuki.
Correct. Yeah, we're very much looking forward to it. It feels like I've been waiting my entire life for this Nanyuki rally, so I can't wait for it.
Super. The best of luck, and thank you so much for speaking to us on Motorsport 411.
Thank you for the call, and stay well, Sean.
That's Minty Motorsport sponsored driver Raaji Bharij speaking to us on Motorsport 411. We'll be back.
Motorsports 411 with Sean Cardovillis.
So that's it for the show this week. Our thanks once again to ASN steward and manager for Team Uganda, Semakula Katende, and Minty Motorsport sponsored driver Raaji Bharij. Our thanks as always to Big City Studios. I'm Sean Cardovillis.